잠깐만.
놔.
기다려봐.
놓으라고.
너 바보야? 좋으면 좋다, 싫으면 싫다. 왜 말을 못하냐고.
내가 어떻게 말해? 내가 말하면 다 거대거장 광고인데.
그럼 이렇게 말하면 되지. 매년 증가하는 환경오염, 그로 인해 감소되는 면역 기능, 면역 기능을 증진시켜주는 바로 이거 해모임.
갑자기?
동종업계 건강기능식품 5년간 1위.
우와.
우리 이모가 이걸 먹고.
안 돼. 여기서 더하면 거대거장 광고야. 지친 면역세포를 깨우는 힘.
애터미 해모임. 근데 진짜 우리 이모가
그만해라. 응?
How to preserve the nature clean and fresh. Change your detergent first. Atomy laundry detergent. Eco-friendly natural ingredients. Perfect for sensitive skin. Super cleansing power. Reduce environmental damage. Keep water clean. Eco-friendly detergent. Atomy detergent.
Here is our toothpaste. We added propolis extract, which is used to seal the beehive to protect from the bacteria and germs, and green tea extract, which is effective for bad breath and antioxidation into our Atomy toothpaste. Anti-plaque, prevention of tartar deposition, prevention of dental cavities, removal of bad breath. With Propolis Shield, for your stronger and whiter teeth. Atomy toothpaste.
The importance of intestine health. Reports on intestinal beneficial bacteria. Then how is our body now? Due to strong tasting meals and lots of stress. A vicious cycle that promotes malfunction of intestine, aging, and lethargy. It's time for probiotics. Health Keeper Probiotics. Probiotics vary in species and functions in body. To keep your intestine healthy and strong, 10 types of probiotics are included in Atomy Probiotics. This is why it is called Probiotics 10 Plus. In Atomy Probiotics 10 Plus, apple, banana, strawberry, and other fresh fruit ingredients and oligosaccharide are included. Acid resistant to strong stomach acid. 20 billion live probiotics are added, and at least 3 billion healthy probiotics travel through your intestine until the expiry date. The changes Atomy Probiotics 10 Plus makes controls harmful microbes and balances intestinal bacteria by increasing useful microbes, and helps bowel movement and sustaining healthy life. Smart choice for your healthy life. Atomy Probiotics 10 Plus.
누르는 순간 미라클 레볼루션, 오직 당신에게만 맞춰진 스킨 솔루션. 자연이 선사한 재료와 피부 과학의 만남. 잠들었던 피부의 리듬을 깨우고 더 환하게, 더 탄력 있게, 더 매끄럽게 4주 후 새로운 당신을 만나세요.
Atomy Synergy Ample Program.
From the unpolluted, clear zones of glacial Alaska, taken from the bottom of the food chain, comes this 550 milligram capsule of polyunsaturated fatty acid that even children can take with ease. Vitamin E and turmeric added for greater quality. From Alaska, Alaska E Omega 3.
King of herbs, treasure from the Orient, enhancement of the immune system's functions, supports fatigue resistance, promotes blood circulation, improves memory functions, antioxidizing functions. These are the effects Korean red ginseng can have on the human body. The world's best red ginseng grows in Korea because it has the ideal climate, patented technology with no additives, 100% pure red ginseng. Atomy, Korean red ginseng spherical granule.
잠깐만.
놔!
기다려봐.
놓으라고!
너 바보야? 좋으면 좋다, 싫으면 싫다. 왜 말을 못하냐고.
내가 어떻게 말해? 내가 말하면 다 거대과장 광고인데.
그럼 이렇게 말하면 되지. 매년 증가하는 환경오염, 그로 인해 감소되는 면역 기능, 면역 기능을 증진시켜주는 바로 이거 해모임.
갑자기?
동종업계 건강기능식품 5년간 1위.
우와,
우리 이모가 이걸 먹고
안 돼. 여기서 더하면 거대과장 광고야. 지친 면역세포를 깨우는 힘.
애터미 해모임. 근데 진짜 우리 이모가
그만해라, 응?
Still haven't heard of Atomy Mobile? Easy to see, easy to use, easy to download. The Atomy Mobile is renewed. Simple home screen, all information at a glance. You can go directly by touching the bottom menu. Easy shopping at Atomy Mobile. Choose the category and select the items you want. You have access to all Atomy products anytime, anywhere. You can also use sharing functions. If you wish to see more details of products, zoom in by pinching 2 fingers. Let's take a look at My Office. Cumulative PV, seminar schedule, sales, and commissions can be checked easily. And you can manage your group members with the new Lineage checking system. Easily unfold the features in your hand. Atomy Mobile enriches your Atomy life. Download it now.
Spirulina, with a long history of vitality. Spirulina, growing in clean nature with sufficient sunlight and clean water, is an excellent source of protein and various nutrients. With pure deep seawater in Kailua Kona, reliable and fresh ingredients that grow in a clean environment. Capsules of 100% pure spirulina. Atomy, 100% pure spirulina. 3 remarkable antioxidants of spirulina: phycocyanin, SOD, chlorophyll. Spirulina benefits skin health and antioxidants and contains 60 kinds of nutrients required for good health. 2 capsules a day with water. One of the most ancient of all Earth's plants. Atomy, 100% pure spirulina.
서기하고 2009년 놀라운 순간이었지. 자랑스런 애터미 사랑의 이름으로 탄생했네. 내 첫걸음 미국 주니 성장 MOE 주식고고 행진 하나 대박 성공 대만 남아시아의 허브 싱가폴 인도 차이나 반도 캄보디아 7,000개의 섬나라 필리핀 다민족이 어울려 열정 가득 살루 멕시코 아름다운 미소 점점 내 나라 우주 해양 관광의 섬 인도네시아 유라시아 국가 진출까지 온 세상이 애터미 오예 드디어 러시아 오픈 축하합니다 애터미에 가면 애터미에 가면 애터미에 가면 애터미에 가면
Youth, beauty, the endless desire to awaken the perfectionist in you. Evolution of innovative technology. From years of research, an addition of 2 innovative breakthroughs on top of Atomy's 4 major technologies, came the birth of Absolute Skincare. High-potent natural ingredients for skin vitality, keeping the skin youthful and glowing against time. Cell Active Smart Capsulation Transfer Technology scans the face to prescribe and deliver the precise Cell Active code. The science behind the powerful anti-aging effect aims to discover the potential of skin vitality. Atomy's technological advancement of science goes beyond expectations. Unveil the mysteries of flawless skin with each drop of Absolute Skincare. Youth, beauty, the endless desire. Absolute Cell Active Toner. Absolute Cell Active Ampoule. Absolute Cell Active Serum. Absolute Cell Active Lotion. Absolute Cell Active Eye Complex. Absolute Cell Active Nutrition Cream. The core essence of evolutionary technology. Reverse, rebirth, rewind the clock. Atomy, Absolute Cell Active Skincare.
Hand soap can change your family's health. Although it may not be visible, there are more than 120,000 bacteria and germs in your hands. Remember that a lot of disease can be prevented by washing hands. Wash away dirt and germs with 98% naturally derived ingredients. Family Health Keeper, Atomy Hand Soap. Hand washing campaign with Atomy. Follow the instruction together. Apply enough soap. Rub both hands. Rub back of each hand with palm of other hand. Rub each finger. Rub palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Finish with pleasant scent. Now keep your family's health with Atomy. Atomy Hand Soap.
King of herbs. Treasure from the Orient. Enhancement of the immune system's functions. Supports fatigue resistance. Promotes blood circulation. improves memory functions, antioxidizing functions. These are the effects Korean red ginseng can have on the human body. The world's best red ginseng grows in Korea because it has the ideal climate, patented technology with no additives, 100% pure red ginseng. AMAAC, Korean red ginseng spherical granule.
An inevitable adversary of the modern age for the tired and fatigued liver from stress. AMAAC rhodiola milk thistle, beneficial for maintenance of a healthy liver. As a potent antioxidant, silymarin intervenes in free radical generation and protects against reactive oxygen species. Contains rhodiola rosea extracts to help relieve fatigue caused by stress. Supports energy production with an essential vitamin B complex and pantothenic acid. An optimal multifunctional formula. Contains various sub-ingredients such as broccoli, turmeric, cordyceps, inositol, niacin, BCAA, choline. Silymarin, an extract of milk thistle, promotes and stimulates liver regeneration. Antioxidant properties of silymarin prevents liver damage. Liver function tests have been shown to reduce GOT and GPT by inhibiting liver toxicity. Rhodiola extract may improve fatigue caused by stress. To support modern age liver health, take 1 tablet 2 times daily. Start the day with energy with AMAAC rhodiola milk thistle. An inevitable adversary of the modern age.
Good morning, Atomians! Welcome to Ariul Marikina Aja Center Catching Success Online. I am Sales Master Julia Tabiano of Ariul Marikina Aja Center. And I am your host for today. As we start, here in Anatomy, it is our culture to begin and end every event by reciting our company motto. Ready position please! Yup! Company motto, go! Cherish the spirit, create the vision, follow the faith, serve in humility. Aja, Aja, Aja! To energize you this afternoon, we prepared the promo to all our members. All you have to do is let's get to know our company by watching the short company profile of Atomy.
A company that has established with keeping fundamental principles. A company expanding out to the world with the principles. A company that grows with the consumers and shares selflessly. We are Atomy. Atomy has continued to grow since its establishment in 2009, has reached global sales of $1.3 billion US, also accumulated 5.5 million members. Beyond the satisfaction of the members, Atomy's #1 goal is customer success. Atomy's efforts do not cease even today. Providing high-quality products at an affordable price. Atomy's competitive edge lies in the nature of distribution itself. Atomy strives for providing absolute quality products at an absolute price. These are the values that Atomy has practiced from its beginning. In all of Atomy's products, including health foods, beauty cares, living, food and beverage, fashion, and household appliances, filled with the philosophy of absolute quality and absolute price. This Atomy's philosophy makes Total trusted brand, which reformed Atomy as a consumer curator. Hemohim has recorded the #1 best-selling single item in direct selling industry for 5 consecutive years. Atomy's Absolute Skincare has also become one of the best-selling products, which has exceeded the $254 million US of total sales within 3 years of its launch. The Fame, which has been renewed with Atomy's advanced ingredients and technology, is also loved by the consumers as it encompasses Atomy's product philosophy as well. Starting with the United States in 2010, Atomy has launched 13 branches in regions of Americas, Asia, Oceania, and Europe. Atomy is a global company that has 5.5 million members worldwide. With its constant annual growth, in 2019, Atomy received the $100 million export tower. There are also more than 2,000 seminars held worldwide annually. In these, communication platforms are actively performing to find possibility of Atomy's member success. Atomy continues to prepare for its launch overseas to countries like China, India, the UK, Germany, Brazil, and Colombia. By sourcing products globally according to Atomy's absolute quality, absolute price strategy, by distributing them through Atomy's global network, Atomy is implementing its GSGS, Global Sourcing, Global Sales strategy. Atomy Park, located in Gongju City, Chungnam Province, is designed according to Atomy's unique work culture to form a team flexibly according to characteristics of each project. It is also designed to balancing the work and personal life to maximize the creativity of employees and to help the success of the members with various seminars and workshops. Atomy Park will become a home for all Atomians throughout the world. Atomy's success system that the company directly hosts the seminars and allows anyone to succeed regardless of one's personal abilities is the engine for its growth. Atomy keeps supporting partner companies to just focus on the quality of the products by paying in cash within 1 week of delivery and providing a mutual quality control system. All of such supports foster a healthy cycle of accompanied growth. Charity is must-do mission for every company. In order to improve the quality of life of the society members, Atomy as a company practices sharing along with its employees, partners, and members. Wherever needs help, Atomy global branches become one to conduct the charity and sharing, to pursuit of everyone's happiness. A company that adheres to its principles to create a new culture of distribution. A company that is trusted by the world as it expands globally. A company that dreams of the customer success beyond customer satisfaction. A company that cherishes the spirit. We are proud Atomy.
Now, we all know that Atomy is not just an ordinary company. It's cherished what it has, so we are sure that we are all taken care of. Please don't forget to send the link of our live to your partners and prospect partners so they can also get into the Atomy system. Moving forward, we will be watching an inspiring lecture from our chairman, Mr. Park Han-gil.
Even from the beginning of Atomy, our founding principles were quite different. These founding principles are principles that I had in mind when I first started Atomy. The first principle is being. Because the company has to survive. A company must never go bankrupt. I went bankrupt once before. And I realized that a business must never fail because it becomes difficult for the employees, for the businesses that supply products, and for my business partners as well. However, it became very hard on me. So I wanted to make a company that would never fail. As such, being became the first founding principle. Now, when I observe why a company fails, the biggest obstacle is the expenses. If there are no expenses like labor costs or rental fees, a company can still manage even if its sales drop. However, if there is a drop in sales, and a company still has to pay for labor costs as well as rent, those fixed costs and expenses can cause a business to fail. Therefore, I needed to lower these expenses. In a distribution company, the biggest expense are the labor costs. I thought about how much I needed to lower such costs. Atomy has something called an absolute goal, right? Our absolute goal is to make such costs non-existent, which means ultimately there should be no one working. This is an unmanned company, which is what we're aiming to become. An unmanned company would be an enterprise that could operate on its own without any employees, which is referred to as OA, or office automation, or FA, factory automation, for factories. By using a computerized system, we wanted the office to run automatically. The company had to become a paperless office. When the company first started out, one had to fill out an application via fax to become a member. However, we don't do it that way anymore. Instead, you go to our website to type in your name, your bank account number, phone number, delivery address, and the name of the person who is sponsoring you. After that, you click the OK button and you become a member, and then start ordering through the website. Before, our staff would take orders, either by phone or by fax, and write down all the information. We don't do that any longer either. Once you buy a product, the sales statement is made and then saved to our server all at the same time. Simultaneously, the data is sent to the delivery center computer, And with the shipping address that you wrote into the computer, the delivery center printer will automatically begin printing the order receipt. Essentially, you're printing your order directly at the delivery center. For example, such is the same for the accounting department. All the money that will be sent out is prepared in advance so that everything is stabilized. If the money needs to be transferred, but sales suddenly drop, the company's in danger, right? Let's say there was a natural disaster, which would happen if no money needed to be transferred. Wouldn't the company be in a deficit? No, it wouldn't. The company would only fail if it didn't have any money. However, we prepared enough capital in cash in advance. The first founding principle of Atomy is to create a company that doesn't fail. I only failed once in my life. I never want to experience bankruptcy ever again. Our second principle is speed. The first one is about our survivability. It is the act of being. Now, speed is about the growth of the business. Basically, it focuses on how we will develop the business. The concept of time is always included in speed. Time. For example, how many miles you travel in 1 hour is your speed. Since this includes the concept of time, it is necessary for us to understand what time really is. What then is time? Time? Is it money? Does money fill your pockets after some time passes? What about your bank account? Can you explain the concept of time? Time is defined as beginning in the past, passing through the present, and flowing into the future. This is the sequence of time. You go from the past to the present and into the future. Does this help with your understanding? Can you tell me when the present is? The present. Let's say that today is the present. So let's break the day down. If the time right now is noon, then any time before 12 p.m. is the past, right? Since it's noon, everything after 12 p.m. must be the future. Then how do you explain this time right here? We can look at it in terms of hours. If you divide up that hour, it becomes equal parts of the past and the future. Thus, is there a real point in time that we can call the present? Even when you split up 1 second, you will only have a past and a future. Essentially, there is no literal present. By saying that the present doesn't exist, it is concluding that time doesn't exist. There is no present. As such, there's no concept of time. However, we all have an understanding of time. The question then is, what is it that we consider time? To us, a different concept of time exists, where we recognize the events of the past. This notion of time is known as history, and that is how we define this idea. This is what I mean when I say history. As we think of the history of the Joseon dynasty, we think of the kings that founded that dynasty. For example, the incident of Taejong founding Joseon. Taejo founded the kingdom, but Taejong carried out the dynasty. Thus, history is a series of changing events, and the records of such events. It is also the concept of time that we can recognize. Moreover, there is no history if there are no events. This period is called prehistory, which means that is before history. Let's say that we found a relic from the prehistoric period. Then history would extend to that point. Furthermore, if there are no signs of such events, it would be considered prehistory since time at that point doesn't exist. Thus, our concept of time is defined by the recognition of events. We are told to use our time efficiently, right? If you want the business to do well, you need to use your time efficiently. When we talk about using time efficiently, this actually means using these events effectively. Being efficient is mainly initiating cause for an event to occur. Basically, you are being proactive in causing certain events to occur. If the events that occur are desirable to you, then you can turn your life into a prosperous one. What happens if you don't take the lead in such events? If you allow the environment or other people to take control, your life will just pass you by, going in all sorts of directions. This means you are not able to control the events or the time in your own life. Generally, the reason that most people live such miserable lives is due to the fact that they aren't taking control and initiating the cause of events favorable to them. Instead, they waver according to their surroundings. What are these other events? Well, let's say that you're born into a poor family. Though you might study hard, other students always do better, and you are always last in the rankings. Afterwards, you get married, and your spouse isn't really that great. In this example, your life is already determined by your surroundings. And such obstacles become a problem in your life. Basically, you continue to stay poor by not doing anything. How can you escape from poverty then? You need to take charge and change your life by causing the events that you want to happen in your life. If you do, you will be able to live the life that you want. You need to take control of your life. Yet, if you just sit there idle, you will just go with the flow as according to the events around you. So what should you do? You should take action to cause favorable events. By taking charge of your life, you can design, hold on to, and head towards your future. However, many people don't do this. I said that time is just another word for events. And the type of events that you want to create are those that are desirable for you. With such events that are desirable for you, you can design and plan out these kinds of events, as well as take charge in making them happen. You need to take charge of your life and your time so that you can become the master of your time. It is important for you to be a leader of time, rather than just going with the flow of time. This is seen as taking the initiative as you take hold of leadership over your life. Now, there are various properties of time. Time can actually be compressed. If you want to do a certain task, you need to compress time. I will try to simplify what I mean by this. Let's say you have 3 months. And you have a list of 250 people. You want to inform all of them during those 3 months. What kind of events are being created during that time? You are contacting these 250 people, right? With this event that you are generating, you can talk to all of them in 3 months. You can also contact 10 people a day and do it in 1 month. That is a possibility. If you reach 25 people a day, you can even do it in 10 days. By compressing this original event, what are you doing? You're compressing time. You need to compress time if you want explosiveness. Air and oil can be compressed. Have you heard of hydraulics? They use oil pressure to move heavy equipment. Then what happens if you don't use compressed time? Well, you'll be living like a sagging clothesline, and nothing's ever going to work out for you. As such, if you're doing something like the Atomy business, you can drag it out like we did here and contact 250 people in 3 months. However, this method won't be the most efficient. Instead, you need to compress it as much as you can and be determined to contact 25 people a day. Can you reach everyone in 10 days? Of course you can. You need to do these tasks as if you are working, which means you must compress time and the events as much as you can to become efficient. Do you understand the concept of how you should be working? Some people won't compress it. They'll just let it drag on. And then they'll say it doesn't work. All these people are doing is checking to see if it works. They think, I know it won't work, but let's see. And then they tell about their experience to those who don't like the products. Then they think, see, the person isn't doing the business. These people report back to their sponsors. Look, I tried it, it didn't work. See, I told you this wasn't going to work. Atomy doesn't need everyone to do this business in order to succeed. Atomy will succeed even if only 1/10 or 1/5 of all the people do it. If you are tenacious, you need to go out believing that this business will succeed, even if only 1 out of 100 people do it. When I first started this business, I didn't have anything to show for it. I didn't have any proof or evidence back then. Nowadays, many people know and hear about Atomy all the time. If they haven't, they have access to our website, which makes recruiting that much easier. If you look at how this company was built, it had an ugly start and was created from almost nothing. Armed with only a fighting spirit and conviction, I firmly believed that this was going to work. How can something of great quality and low price not work? Just like water flowing from the top to bottom, this company will undoubtedly become a global company. How can you say a person driving around in a run-down $2,800 minivan telling people about giving away luxury cars is sound of mind? People who were sane just left saying, sure, whatever you say. In any case, you need to utilize time by compressing it. Another characteristic of time is that duplication is possible. Duplication. Since time can be duplicated, it allows Atomy to have great speed. Duplicating time means that we are copying events. Let's say you are recruiting one person or you are selling a product. Now, if you're going to be a leader, you need to do this mercilessly. Thus, you need to create a model based on the pain and efforts that you faced in the grueling process of recruiting someone. Once you do, and you see your partners faltering or sounding weak, or when they lack confidence, you can say, I was able to do this even when the going got tough. So all you need to do is follow what I did. If you want to duplicate something, a good original source is necessary. As such, you can't be thinking to yourself, it would be a problem if my partners were like me. Instead, you need to make it so that you think, my partners need to be like me. In order to succeed, I ran around from dawn till dusk, telling anyone I met with confidence and conviction and did everything with pride in myself. My partners will copy everything that I did. So even if you faced hardships, you will be able to say, I won't back down. Hence, when you meet a person, it has to be a do or die situation until someone gives in. that mentality becomes duplicated in your partners, so they won't let anyone they meet just pass on by due to the original source having the same level of tenacity. If you are going to create hundreds or even millions of copies, what kind of person do you think you need to be? You have to be a steadfast person, a person who won't give in to any kind of difficulty. I also became a role model to others. With the 17 members, I told them, Atomy will be the best global company. We will sweep the world markets. The first 17 members were crazy. You must have that kind of mentality and believe that your willpower will be duplicated in hundreds of thousands of people. If you think, how much will I make by working this much? Or when is this supposed to start working? Or it's so hard to become an auto sales master, and you just complain. Then your partners will say, it's so hard to become an auto sales master. I can't do it either. Everyone will think and sound the way you do. So you need to do a good job of being the original. Some of your seniors had risked everything they had in order to be a good original. For duplication, you need to become a good source. You can't slouch around and just be irresolute, because all your partners are just going to do that too. How can you hope for the best if you just complain all the time about how hard everything is? Nothing in this world is easy. You can make $30,000 a month without any investment. How can someone who doesn't have any certificates, was bad at studying, and just got old, think about making $30,000 a month without any effort? It takes 10 years for a doctor just to get a medical license. Even when supermarket owners work from dusk till dawn, many of them still don't even break even. However, you can't go bankrupt with this, as there is no investment to lose. So why can't you just have a do-or-die attitude? It's not just about your life, but also the lives of your family. Why can't you put everything on the line? Wouldn't that be the reasonable thing to do? That is what you should be doing. You can't just be staggering around saying, oh, this is too hard. You must transform yourself into a great master copy that can be duplicated into your partners. People say a good general will make good men. Likewise, you have to become a general with the following thoughts. I won't back down no matter what. I will wipe out the enemies if they start to attack. You have to have a blazing courage and a fighting spirit so that your soldiers will think, wow, if my general is like that, then I should follow him as well. Shouldn't you take the lead and just shout, charge? Huh? Otherwise, you have to live a miserable life as a loser. Do you like the life that you're living right now? You're pressed for money, embarrassed everywhere you go. Can't see your friends or even attend a wedding properly because you don't know how much you need, so you decide not to go. How can you say that you're living when you're like this? Instead, become a good master copy and make duplicates of yourself. Make a goal, such as the following. I will raise up 10 partners like me. That doesn't mean you should be betting either. Rather, you need to be finding consumers. When I emphasize this, many people go beyond themselves by just buying thousands of dollars of products when they shouldn't. You have to hop along like a crow by selling 1 or 2 products here and diligently building a consumer base. Your attitude should be, I will put everything on the line. And you do your best to make that work. You have to become the best copy so that your partners can copy and duplicate everything you do. This is a life and death situation for you. The possibility of living like a noble or like a miserable, depressed, weak, and ordinary person who doesn't even have a retirement plan and sighing all the time, who will depend on whether or not you are bold and courageous enough to have the fighting spirit that will overcome this situation. You must become a warrior. How can you be so weak when you have loved ones? You're like this because you lack love. You must be a good master copy. I won't sit still if you aren't. Since all of you promised that you will be a good master copy, I will end the lecture on this note. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Chairman Mr. Park Han-gil. Tom Yans, please continue interacting in our live chat. And to the last part of our program, let's all get motivated by a lecture from Dr. Lee Seung-yoon entitled Atomy People.
Hello, everyone. For some time now, you've been doing the 100 Days Sales Master Plan and the $10,000 in 1,000 Days Plan. Some of you have reached your goals within that time. Some have even finished early, while others are taking a little longer for different reasons. In the process of accomplishing a goal, a specific objective and concrete deadline must be set. Otherwise, some people might never complete it. This applies to everything we do and not just the Atomy business. Whether it is simple manual work or very complex mental work, a concrete deadline is a must if you want to meet your goals. For example, a doctorate candidate working on his thesis must have a detailed timeline for completing it. Otherwise, he could be delayed for any length of time before finally completing it. Some people are surprisingly lazy when working on their PhDs. When students set their goals to have their thesis approved within 3 or 4 years and work hard on them, most of them succeed in achieving that goal very close to the planned date. On the other hand, those who don't have a concrete timeline planned out are rarely able to finish in a reasonable time. In short, a concrete and specific objective is crucial when chasing your goals. Basically, you won't get the result you want unless you try your best. If you only work half-heartedly, it will be reflected in your outcome. I really want you to understand the importance of setting goals. If you could, please show us the slideshow for this lecture. The title of this lecture is Atomy People. People who work or have worked for Samsung take great pride in being called a Samsung man. The term Samsung man is used to describe a person who thinks rationally, works very efficiently, and is good at sharing ideas. Many very reputable organizations, including famous universities and well-known corporations, have carefully established their images to the public. I then thought about calling us Atomy men while trying to come up with a similar phrase. However, I decided against it because organizations such as Samsung tend to employ people by selecting people who underwent the training. These annually hired new recruits are generally similar in age, have like majors, and possess at least the general qualifications. Thus, it makes sense those employees would be called a Samsung man. Yet, since the diverse members of Atomy can come and go as they please, I felt that the term people was better suited for the company. Both people and man refer to humans as a whole, rather than being gender-based. During the IMF crisis, there was an article that was published in Korea. So, what was this column about? Well, it was a story about how new employees of famous Korean companies who were attending a training lecture in an auditorium like this reacted when a venomous snake slithered in. Upon seeing the snake, each company had a different response. People of Company A immediately attacked the snake with what they could find. I'm sure you can easily guess what company that was. They did whatever they could to kill the snake. Those from Company B weren't so eager to approaching it, and they decided it would be best to go ask their CEO about what to do. So they did just that. The new hires of Company C were cynical as they just sat and hoped that some smarter person would come and take care of it. Basically, these people dumped their responsibilities onto others and refused to show initiative by taking the matters into their own hands. Company D's employees decided to put their heads together and come up with a quick and effective plan. I bet that this company was Samsung. One organization even went as far as denying that the snake was there, even when others could visibly see it. They couldn't see the danger that was in front of them. Instead of seizing the moment, they just argued their case. This is the culture of a corporation. The leadership mentality of the CEO and how the company deals with a situation will shape and form the corporate culture. Okay. We'll move on to the fable of the eagle. Many say an eagle can live up to 70 years or about as long as a human. It's an impressive lifespan for a bird. However, once it has lived about 40 years, the eagle is faced with a difficult life and death decision. By its 40th year, its beak becomes dull and bent, which makes it almost impossible to hunt for prey. Its once razor-sharp talons grow too long that they start to curve inward. Its wings become tattered with age, making it harder for the eagle to fly. Now, if an eagle can't hunt, it will die horribly of starvation. Wild animals and predators will die if they can't hunt. Humans are different as we tend to take care for our elderly parents. Since animals don't do that, they have to hunt for survival. So, in this situation, the eagle seems destined to die. Yet, the eagle actually has two choices: starve to death or undergo a complete transformation by smashing its beak against a rock to break it off, and then waiting for a new beak to grow back. Then, using this new beak, it rips out its old talons so that new ones can form. With the sharp new claws, the eagle plucks out its old feathers. Once the new feathers grow back, it can live well for another 30 years. In order to earn another 30 long years, the eagle must suffer through 6 brutal months. Basically, eagles must endure a painful metamorphosis period if they wish to dramatically increase their lifespans. Assuming that we will retire at the age of 60, we still have 30 more years to live. Due to the advancements in medicine, we might live to 100. Those who are very unlucky might have to live up to 120. Just like the eagle, all of you have two choices: go through a complete transformation to live a good life, or continue to struggle for the rest of your life. It's your responsibility to choose between the two options, just like how the eagle did on its own. Thus, unless you endure the painstaking process of changing yourself and your thought process, you won't be able to have a life full of vigor like the eagle. Next is, People are the most important factor of production. As we went from the industrial to the information age, people have become the most important factor of production. Traditionally, the three factors of productivity are land, labor, and capital. Although manual labor was vital in the past, mental labor is now considered more valuable. Many economists and scholars have agreed on that aspect. Maybe that seems strange, so let me explain why. In the past, people could become wealthy by owning lots of land, big factories, and several different businesses. Today, many of the world's richest people, and especially those who were originally poor, do not necessarily own lots of assets or properties. They became wealthy on their own. Let's take a look at Bill Gates. He's not famous for owning lots of businesses or factories. Nevertheless, he's the richest person in the world. According to the latest data, his fortune is estimated at $72 billion. His business is located in Seattle, Washington. Although he is retired now, he only had his brain to help him build that fortune. Next is Warren Buffett. He runs a company called Berkshire Hathaway. What does this company do? It's an investment company that trades stocks and bonds. He is the second richest person, whose fortune is estimated at $60 billion. Don't even think about counting to 1 billion. You would never be able to finish counting that kind of money. I'm telling you, it's impossible to sit down and count to 1 billion. Next up is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and inventor of Facebook. He is only 27 years old. His fortune amounts to about $30 billion without land or buildings. His brain power made him who he is today. You've all heard of Joanne Rowling, right? She used to struggle to survive on welfare as a single mother of 1 daughter. Up until now, over 450 million copies of the Harry Potter series have been sold worldwide and 7 films have been made. The profits from the films alone have reached about $7 billion. So, in 5 short years, she literally went from rags to riches. It took her merely 5 years to become super rich. She started out by sending the manuscript to 12 major publishers, all of whom turned it down. Fortunately, one American publisher took a great liking to the book and advanced her about $120,000 even before publishing it. He recognized its potential. What do you think might have happened if those 12 publishers had instead recognized the book? They would be raking in money. That is no longer possible for them, as that American publishes us a moral about the importance of recognizing a diamond in the rough. J.K. Rowling is one of the richest people in the world. Her fortune is estimated to be about $1.5 billion. She bought a castle, remarried, and now lives happily. Another example is seen in the Jewish people. They had it tough because they didn't have much, and they were persecuted wherever they went. Nevertheless, the world-class wealthy are mostly Jewish today. They own most of the biggest financial companies, publishers such as the New York Times or the Washington Post, auction houses, and diamond dealers. They are not big property owners. The Talmud tells Jewish mothers to teach their children this. The Jewish have had a long history of persecution and migration. Their civilizations and properties were often looted and seized. So the mothers asked their children, "If our house is invaded or set on fire, what would you take from our home?" The children answer that they would take the jewelry. Jewelry is easy to carry, right? The mothers tell their children, jewelry can be stolen too. The only thing no one can take from you is knowledge. As long as you have knowledge, you can still survive. In short, the Jewish people believe that knowledge is the only true capital, since assets such as cash, property, or businesses can be taken away by others. The Jewish show us the importance of human resources as capital. Another example can be made with the AMAAC contractors. Since our bodies themselves are our greatest capital, once we use them to increase productivity and make them highly productive, we can all become rich. There really is no other choice, right? Let's take a look at the talents required in these changing times. There have been agricultural, industrial, and information age. During the agricultural age, one-dimensional talent was all we needed. So what is one-dimensional talent? Well, knowing just a little bit about a wide range of subjects guaranteed a comfortable, respectable living. Farming doesn't really require highly complex knowledge, right? In those days, as the technology wasn't really very advanced, and most people didn't travel very far or even travel very often, people with college educations were treated with respect. Neighbors would say, "Wow, he's a college graduate." An ordinary but broad education ensured high productivity, which in itself guaranteed success. During the industrial age, this kind of generalized education was no longer very useful. Instead, expert knowledge was required. This expertise would then bring about high productivity. In areas such as electronics, chemistry, or automobiles, expert knowledge is necessary. Time constraints made it impossible to generalize. So, one-dimensional talent was no longer enough. However, that still wasn't enough for the information age we are in. In this period, all fields of technology are merging. Automobile technology involves mechanical engineering. Yes, mechanical engineering alone can't create cars. Electronic, computer, chemical engineers, and quite a few others as well, all have to be involved in order to produce a car. Nowadays, even biological engineering has joined the process. Thus, a cross-shaped symbol was used to signify that one must possess not only a deep level of expertise in one field, but also a more generalized knowledge of related fields to survive. This is happening in the US right now. Natural and social sciences have now become one, since business becomes harder if they weren't. The same thing is taking place in AMAAC as well. Although most refer to this as a cross-shaped talent, Toyota used the first letter of its name and started calling it a T-type. To keep things simple, we will just refer to this concept as the T-type. Whether it is a cross or a T, a wide range of general knowledge and a deep level of expert knowledge in one field are both necessary to succeed. Let's say a mechanical engineer builds a machine that works perfectly without flaw. If that machine lacks a very attractive design, it won't sell well. These days, people buy products based on design rather than function. Thus, we have humanities, aesthetics, and the arts. So unless all of these are combined, it becomes difficult to do business. You might wonder what kind of talent is expected of an atomian. I believe that atomians should be A-type people. The letter A looks very similar to the character for person in Chinese. The A looks like two people relying on each other to live. However, rather than just relying on each other, we have to communicate with one another. Communication results in cooperation, which results in creating a superorganism. Individual efforts can never lead you to lasting success. A-type people must always be communicating with one another. This A is also shaped like a ladder. So, it can represent the ladder of success that you can climb. However, it's only possible when a bar helps brace it up. In short, communication is the key to success. So, as we learned, a person needs a vast amount of knowledge. We can call this being a liberalist, so why is that important? Well, in reality, an accountant at a firm should be the expert bookkeeper, because they would be speaking with other people in that field, rather than the people in marketing. What about AMAAC contractors? We have to meet with all kinds of people. we have no idea what kinds of people we might encounter and deal with every day, or what ideas they might have. That's why you need to be a liberalist and have a wide range of knowledge. You can obtain this by coming to the seminars and having exchanges as you meet with your sponsors and partners. That's how you gain general knowledge. All you need is a strong interest. Even if you simply drive past a sign, as long as you pay interest to it, it can become valuable information. If you don't pay any attention, then it becomes meaningless. If you are not a liberalist, you are going to feel very limited when doing this business, because you're going to have to deal with all sorts of people. We need to become specialists as well. Not only do you have to be an expert in marketing, Atomy products, Atomy business, consumer behavior, and consumer psychology, but you must also know the methods of developing your downlines and the 8 steps to success. You must be an expert in them. No one is born knowing about or understanding all these concepts. We learn about them as we live our lives. In that learning process, effort is required. Hence, being a specialist is very critical. Lastly, it is important to have communication. It's simply impossible to do this business alone. It can't be done. Success only becomes possible when there is cooperation. However, you need to have communication for that to happen. Without communication, it becomes impossible to form a superorganism. When this happens, no ability in the world will help you achieve success. That's why communication is so important in this system. Only through communication and cooperation can knowledge and information be shared and exchanged. Scholars have pointed out that unlike capital or labor, knowledge becomes greater the more you share it with others. Ordinary goods vanish quickly if shared with other people. However, information multiplies when shared. It stays with you and grows over time. Thus, communication and cooperation give birth to the concepts of the superorganism and the collective intelligence. This collective intelligence is a collection of people's knowledge, which, in essence, can be used to overcome any challenge. An individual can't do that, no matter how smart he or she is. Individual intelligence can never rival a collective one. That's just the way it is. That's when a synergy effect is created. Synergy effect simply means that the effect is greater than the sum of the individuals within it. Synergy can only happen when we are working together. There is also a counter-synergy effect, which is something that is less than the sum of its parts. Counter-synergy happens when individuals are micromanaged, or when people aren't willing or able to cooperate with each other. Peter Senge, a world-renowned scholar in organizational learning, came to this conclusion. He observed that when a group of 160 IQ were made to work together, the result of this group only equaled a collective IQ of 60. That's what happens when you don't have cooperation. When team members don't respect each other's abilities and efforts, even highly intelligent people will only produce disappointing results. When people of normal intelligence come together to form a superorganism and utilize the collective intelligence, they are able to obtain impressive results. This is the conclusion that many scholars came upon after much research. Thus, cooperation is always the best strategy. I have talked about game theory in the past few seminars. Many game theory experts tried to come up with the best strategy to produce the highest income, because life itself can be seen as a game, right? They wanted to choose a game theory that produced the best outcome in any given situation for everyone. And the cooperation-first approach came out on top. In other words, strategies that encouraged betrayal always performed the worst. Okay. There is a proverb that explains why communication is necessary for cooperation and forming a superorganism. In the Great Commentaries 1 for the Book of Changes, the proverb is summarized as close friendship. The first part reads, "But when two men are one in heart, what happens when people are of one at heart?" It continues, "Not iron bolts keep them apart." This proverb ends with, "The words they in their union use, fragrance like orchid plants diffuse." So, when two people put their minds together and work as one, not only can they cut through metal, but also become as fragrant as an orchid. In other words, cooperation will make everything possible. Ultimately, we need to walk in someone else's shoes. Our goal is to obtain both general and expert knowledge, and to grow by communicating and cooperating with one another. To do this, we need to walk in someone else's shoes. A similar proverb appears in the Mencius. So what does this proverb mean? Well, it wants us to change our perspective. Simply, if you put yourself in someone else's shoes, how would you act? The maxim is appealing to our reason. Just thinking reasonably is not enough. So I added the concept of empathy, which means you need to feel it too. Not only do we need a cool head, but also a warm heart. Since it might be hard to just change perspective and have empathy, you need to act in consideration of others. As such, rather than complain about my lecturing style, you need to come up here and see for yourself how hard it is. Instead of criticizing someone's driving, you need to see how difficult it can be. This also applies to everything, even sales. Try doing sales yourself to see how hard it is. Otherwise, you won't understand how the other person feels. If you only walk in someone else's shoes, it will be very difficult to become a united heart. You need to empathize with your warm heart. See for yourself how hard their lives are. Some have many mouths to feed. Some barely make ends meet. Don't just try to relate to them by looking back at your past. You need to experience it by working together with your partners. Therefore, change your perspective by walking in someone else's shoes, empathizing and acting in consideration of others, and work together to become a superorganism. If you do so, you will all be making 10K a month within 1,000 days. I am absolutely sure that you can achieve this. I hope that you all achieve big success. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Lee Sung-yoon. Before we end, please be reminded of this announcement. Catching Success online at 2 p.m. every Tuesday live via YouTube channel of Atomy Ariul Marikina Aja Center. Atomy Talk at 2 p.m. every Wednesday and Atomy One Day Seminar at 2 p.m. every Friday live via Facebook page and YouTube of Atomy PH Official. And don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube channel at Atomy Ariul Marikina Aja Center. As we end, let us remind ourselves of the principle we uphold here in Atomy by reciting our company motto. Ready, position, please. Yup, company motto, go. Cherish the spirit, create the vision. Follow the faith, serve in humility. Aja, Aja, Aja.